Yep. I have a table called, let's check there is a business requirement you got. You got a business requirement from user. What a user wants is that whatever so there will be some data in the EMP on the server one. So what you need to do is that, like, you are the developer, so they have sent a business requirement for you asking that there is a one table on the server one. So what you have to do is that you have to write a query such a way that, or create a package or anything. The only requirement they'll give is whatever the data is there on the EMP table on server 1, that data should be updated on server 2 EMP table. Okay. Now, what questions you will be getting? So just thinking you are a developer. When I am a business user, I asked Ala and Naveed and Ranjit. Please, this is my requirement. I have data in EMP table. My requirement is that I want to load the data into server 2 EMP table. So this is only the requirement I have given. So based on this, what questions you might get? Can you anyone list out some questions? Ala, Navid, and Ranjit. So in order to develop, you
Yes.
need some more information, right? So what information you need based on this scenario? Because business user didn't provide you a lot of information, right? He had only provided you this is my data. I want to load this data into the source, this server. So yeah, Ranjit, source, yeah, they already given, yes, exactly. So, yep. The first question is, Ranjit said that what kind of source, because that source they are given, because the source is server 1 and server 2 is destination, so nothing to worry. Which records to load? Good. Which records to load? So this is a question you will be having. Then, how big is the data? Is data. Which is to be insert? Yeah, which is insert, which to update. Okay, which to insert, which to update. So this one I'll be naming as like what needs to be done with the updates and inserts. Insert. If they need to delete any, good. Do we need to, if they delete in the source, what we needs to be done in the destination too? This is a source. This is a destination. Okay, if they delete any record, what needs to be done with the deleted records? Next. Ranjit, can you please elaborate any other manipulation work? What is meant by that? Ranjit, can you please elaborate? Okay. Yeah, that one. So she was asking any conversion needed. Ala, okay, any conversion needed. Good. Okay, we'll go with this scenario itself. Okay, we'll go with this example. We got enough examples. So which records to load? The first question. Because as you are a developer, so you ask me, since I am a business analyst, like a business user, so I'm the one who is going to provide the requirements, right? Based on the initial requirement, you send back me the requirements with additional questions. So the first question answer I will be saying is that I want to locate all the records. Okay, all the records means whatever the records are in the source, I want that records should be there in the destination. How big is the data? The data is like yeah, I'll say data is like 10 millions. What needs to be done with updates and insert? Okay, here what I'll be saying is that the data is 10 millions. Out of those, every day there will be like 500k records updated. and 50k records inserted. Update, insert. Okay, this is my request. So I'll say that every day you will have 500k records which will be updated, and 50k records will be inserted every day. Then what needs to be done with the deleted records? I'll say there will be no deleted. The records will not be physically deleted. I'll say the records will not be physically deleted. The records will not be physically deleted. I'll say records are not physically deleted. Okay, means let's check. I got ID and name. If the ID A 1A 2B, if they delete second record, so what I will be there will be a flag. So I will assign the flag as Y. So the user, since I am the user, so I will update manually. If I delete, automatically I will not physically delete the record, but I will only update the flag. So if you want to see the deleted record, you can get by using this flag. I'll say this as a flag. Flag means which says whether it's deleted or not. Next, any conversion needed? No, I don't want any conversion. So whatever the data you got in the source, you want to insert into the destination. So now this is what I have again send you the updated requirements. Now what you guys are going to do? Ala, Navid and Ranjit, how you will be developing the data? I clearly said that what needs to be done with updates and insert. I said you will have 50k, 500k update and 50k insert. And apart from that, there will be some other questions. How frequent you will be getting the data? What is the frequency of data? How frequently we need to update? See, they have said that whatever the data you got in the source, you need to update to the destination. But how frequently you need to update? I'll say 1 day, every day during the night time. Okay, like if I see today, I should see all the data that were there as of yesterday. As of yesterday data should be there in the EMP. So tomorrow it should have today's data. Okay, 1 day lagging. This is what I need. Next, yeah, we'll go with the simple. This is what we have. Now based on this conversation, how you will be developing the process. Okay, I'll be acting as a developer now on behalf of you guys. The first thing based on this, okay, you will get the data from the source. Well, for that purpose, what I'll do, the first step, I'll create a DFT. This is what I'll do. After that, inside the DFT, because I'm getting the data from the source, okay, I'll have from the data from the source, I load into the destination. Now here the issue is, this is the first one, basic thing I'll create. Now there is a issue, there might be some issue. Today let's say I got the data 1.8 from the source. I might have got two different data. Okay, so I'll move this one a little bit side so that I can see this window. So the first question you need to think. Let's take in the source there is 1A, ID and name, and 2B. Today you are loaded as it is, because since you got source and destination, okay, you are loaded the name as ID name as 1A 2B. Okay. Now tomorrow let's assume they have updated the record B. They inserted one more record. How you guys will be knowing which record was updated, inserted? You don't know. Okay, so always the project will be an iterative process. Now you will get one more question. How can I know which record was updated, which record was inserted? Then you guys, since I am acting behalf of you, so what I will be doing is that since as I am a developer, I will send again a question to business users. How can we see the same what needs to be updated and insert, right? I have said 500 records inserted, 500 records are updated, 50k records are inserted. Now next I'll again like you will send an now you will be doing as a developers. Okay, now you will send a requirement to me saying that Bhaskar, you said that you will be updating, but how can we identify which records were updated and inserted? How to identify updates and inserts. Then what you will be doing? Yeah, sorry. Since you will be sending me that, right, question, then what I'll be doing is Ala, Navid and Ranjit. What I'll be doing is that there is a column called record update date time, record modified date, date. Okay, so that date will have, if whenever someone inserts a data in that, whenever a new record is inserted or whenever a record was updated, that will have that particular date, modified date. Now we'll open a new window and see how it looks for us now. The table will have EMP ID, EMP name is deleted, then record modified date, or else I'll have modified date. Now on the initial, when they insert the record, it is not deleted, so modified. Let's take they insert the record on Jan 1st 2016. Now I'll have this record with the modified date. Again they have inserted one more record to be on Y, so this is a no because they have inserted, right, and then it's on Jan 2nd 2016. Now on Jan 3rd, what they did, they updated one record. Okay, they've inserted new record. Now what, for the new record it will be Jan 3rd. Since they have updated the record, so now you will again update the today's Jan 3rd date as a modified date because you have updated it again. And if they delete the record to on Jan 4th, then they'll add the flag Y. And what I'll be doing is that, since I am the business user, so if I delete a record on Jan 4th, then the data will not be physically deleted, only a flag will be added, and then the date will be updated, modified date as Jan 4th. So every day, this is what I got. Okay, I got a scenario now. So what I need to do based on this requirement, I'll go to this. Since I'll be having, I need to get from the source only the records that were modified. I need to get the records that were modified. So here you'll have multiple scenarios. First, let's take on Jan 1st, you loaded the data. Jan 1st, you got all the records from the source to destination. You did. And Jan 2nd, what you need to do, you need to get the records that were modified after Jan 1st. Right? Because up to Jan 1st, whatever the records you have into the table, you are getting, you have loaded into the destination. You are good. Now they have did some modifications on Jan 2nd. Okay. Now next time when you run the process, you should get all the records that were modified after Jan 1st. So you need to store the previous date time. Whatever the date you loaded last time, you need to store the data, that date in some some tables, or somewhere you have to load that last. I will call that scenario as last extract date time. Since I have loaded, so on I have loaded Jan 1st data on Jan 2nd. Okay, on Jan 3rd, when I load it, I should get all the records that were inserted after Jan 1st. That record I should get them. So in order to get that, the last extract date time on Jan 3rd will be, so on Jan 1st, on Jan 2nd, the last extract date time. Okay, on Jan 2nd, I am loading the data. So since on Jan 2nd, I am loading the data. Okay, so let's assume I am running the process on Jan 2nd at morning 12:01 AM. It's in the morning, early time, it's in the morning. So whatever the data I got before this time, all the data I'll be pulling into the destination, right? I'm did. And next, on the this is the first day. On the second day, that is nothing but Jan 3rd, okay, I need to pull the data from a table. So I will be writing select star from, so I need to write a query select star from emp where modified date greater than or equal to, you will give the date Jan 2nd, because you loaded the data up to 12 AM, right? AM. Whichever records were inserted after this, that one you have to get. So now on Jan 3rd, the last extract date time. When you do last extract, you extracted on Jan 2nd, 12:01 AM. This is what you did. Let's take on Jan 3rd, you extracted on same day, same time, 1 AM. Now you will give this one on Jan 3rd. Next on Jan 4th, so you have to create a blueprint what you will be doing on Jan, and you have to think about the process, how the process will first you have to see how you can create a process. Now we are in Jan 4th, I'll extract a date, I'll extract it this time, and from what date I'll be extracting? I'll be extracting from last extract date time will be Jan 3rd, 12:01 AM. This is what I'll have. Now in this scenario, what I need to do? For in order to do this, I should always store the last extract date time. I need the last extract date time. That is the one thing I'll do. So what I'll do every time, before I'll store the last extract date time in a table. Before starting the process, I'll get that last extract date time here. Before in the DFT itself, before the DFT, okay, this is a DFT, right? So before the DFT itself, this is a DFT, the second one. What I'll be doing is that, give me 1 minute guys, I'll erase some stuff. I'll write it in now this is what the first thing we did, right? Now I'll make some modification to the model which I have created, like the process flow. First one. Now I'll add a process where second one is a DFT. I'll have the DFT here. That DFT will have the data from source to destination. SRC, source, destination is DEST. I'm writing a shortcut. Now that will be the first step. The first step will be, that will be the second step. First step will be, now I will store that last extract date time in a table, and what I'll do, I'll get that last extract date time. Okay, I'm just writing get last, okay? Get last extract date time. I'll be getting that into the package parameter, and that variable, while loading the data from the source, I'll assign that. Okay? And third one, once I am done with the process, if everything is successful, then I'll write one more where I'll update the last extract date time. Update last extract time. So if I run the package on Jan 1st, like on Jan 2nd when I run it, so I'll run it, and after there I'll update this as a last extract date time. So when I come on Jan 3rd, here my package in the first step, when it get last extract time, so it will be getting from the one which I have stored previous. So these three steps you will be adding now. Okay, I have added first step, then I added DFT, then I added third step. Good. After this, then you'll get one more question, some more questions. When you do the source to destination, you can't directly do it, because every day you will get, so today I have inserted ID 1 and A, 2B. Tomorrow they are updated 2B, they are inserted 3C. I can't directly insert because Tomorrow I'll be getting this 3 records, 2 records, but the 2 is already has been inserted on the first day itself. So when you directly insert, you might get some duplicate. So what you have to do, if the record already exists in the destination, you should update. If the record is not exist in the destination, then you have to insert. Guys, up to here, if you have any question, let me know. Now you will be getting a last extract date time. Then the first step will be you need to get last extract date time when the process was extracted. Then after that, then you will have the DFT, and in the after the DFT, then you will update. Once the DFT means you load the data from source to destination. After that, you will update the data. You will update the last extract date time. You are good. Now in the DFT, you will have some issues where since previously you had kept loading the data from source to destination directly, but from the source you will be getting updated records and inserted records. Updated means that record might be already there in the destination. So what you have to do in this DFT, you have to create one process to check whether the record is already there in the destination or not. If it's yes, then you have to update the record. If it is no, then you have to insert the record. Okay, this is a process I will be developing now. Based on this, we'll go one by one. I'll explain. I'll write it and I'll go one by one. Now here, the first one, I have to get last extract date time. Get last extract time. Second one, this will be the first. Second one, I'll be having a DFT task where I'll be loading source to destination. Third one, update. Update last extract date time. Extract time. Here, in order to, so this is one task. You have to create one task for this. This is a one task. After that, you have one more task. And most of you guys, see, you will always be confused. This is clear in SQL Server. In the SSIS, let's assume I have multiple tasks. I have one task here. Next, I got one more task. Next, I have one more task. If I want to pass some value from this task to this task, you can't pass directly. For that purpose, you have to create variable at the package level. You have to create a variable in a package, and then in the task 1, you have to assign that value to the variable. Then in the task 2, use that value from that variable. Okay, this is the one you need to remember. In order to pass any value from one task to other task, or if you want to store any temporary information, like if you want to store any values, you can store in the form of variables that are available in the packages. In the SSIS package, you will have the variable. So that way, I can get last extract date time and store it in one variable. And that variable I will be using in the DFT. To see, right, select star from EMP table. Once you see my incremental package, then you'll get a clear picture on this. Select star from EMP where last extract date time or modified date, right? Modified date greater than or equal to this variable. Whatever the variable name you want, you give that name. So greater than or equal to that variable. So you'll get that records. After getting here, you will use a lookup on the destination. The lookup will be a destination table. Okay. So the lookup will be on the destination table. Okay. So now based on this, I'll have the DFT. Inside the DFT, from the source, I'll write this query. So I'll be getting the records which are greater than or equal to that particular date. Okay, this will be the source. After that, I'll have a lookup transformation. In the lookup table will be the destination table. Okay, destination table. What I am going to achieve here is whatever from the source, which records, the records which I get from the source are the updated records. That means the updated records will already be there in the destination, right? Because I might have loaded that before itself. Updated means it's the existing record, they have updated. Existing record means already it might be there in the lookup table. It might be there in the destination table. So I need to check whether that record is updated or inserted. So how I can check? I'll do on the lookup table and ignore failure. When I do ignore failure, so what I'll be having is let's take on the source I got 1, 2 IDs. On the destination I might have 1, 2, 1, 2. Source I might have 1, 2, 3 as A, B, B, C. Okay, A, B. This is what I have inserted last time on the destination. Now on the source they have updated record 2, they have inserted new record 3C. Now when I do a lookup on this 2, okay, I'll get different outputs. The first output, if I do a fail component on the lookup, you will have multiple. First is fail component. Fail component means it will check whether that ID is there in the destination, or if it is not there, the process will fail. That's it. It will not go to the next step. So 3 is not there, so the process will fail. That is the first thing. Second one is a redirect row to error output. Redirect to error output. So what it is going to do is that it will compare the data, and whichever records are in the destination, you will get that to the correct channel, green channel. Whichever are not there in the destination, that one you can collect via the error output. Error means red. Under the every source you will got green and error, right? Red, right? Red is nothing but the error one. Now you will have one more thing where redirect rows to no match output. If you want to compare which records were there in the destination or not, then the records will be moved to the row match output. That's the other way. Other thing is, you can do that way. You can get the records from the source, whichever the records you got, and if you select no match output, what you will be having on the lookup is, you will have one as a matched. So after that lookup is done, you can move the matched and you can update the destination. You can write OLDB command. You can use OLDB command to update the task. And then from the no match, then you will have one more output with the no match output. Since the records are not matching, you can directly insert them into the destination. This is what you can do directly. But the disadvantage with this is, in the update, when you use the update, right? Update is nothing but you are going to use the OLEDB command where you will be updating record by record. You can't do the bulk update in the SSIS package by using OLEDB command in the DFT, data flow transformations. And as I said, I'll be having 500k updated records. If I have only like 2 or 3 updated records, yes, you can do that. But since I'm having 500k updated records, it's going to take a lot of time for me to update the data. That's the reason, as being experienced guy. So initially you might be doing that, but what you have to do is that you will get the last extract date time. Okay, I'm writing like last extract date time. Then after that you will have the DFT. Then you will have the update last extract date time. This is what you will have now. But now what process I will be creating is, I'll have the last extract date time. After that, in the DFT, I'll load the data as it is from the source into the destination. I'll have some table called destination staging. I'll create one more table. So whatever the records I'll get updated and inserted, I'll directly dump into the destination staging. After that, I'll create one procedure. What the procedure does is that, you know the merge command, right? Merge command. I'll write a merge command in a procedure. What that merge command does, it will take the data from the staging. If the record is there, it will update. If the record is not there, it will insert. That was the merge command does. So I'm now here, I'm going to merge data from destination staging with destination table. So most of the people, they might be asking, destination staging is nothing but the landing area. So what they do before processing, whatever the data they add changes, they will dump into one table for storing the data for temporary purpose. After that, they will use that table and merge the data with the destination. That's what they are going to do. Okay, that process you will be calling as a staging. Wherever you want to store the data for temporary purpose, you will be calling it as a staging. After that, you will merge it and then you will update the last extract date time. So that will be much faster and the best effective for the incremental loads. The one which I have covered in the video is a lookup. So lookup is going to work if you have less data, but if you have huge number of records, this is the best way. And this works for less number of records also. So you can just go with the merge command. So previous versions before to 2008, in 2005, they have used the merge command, but now it's better to use the, sorry, they have used lookup, but now you can eliminate the lookup and you can use the merge for the incremental kind of load in this scenario. Okay, but in other scenarios, the lookup will be there. Okay, in according to the scenario you will be using. So if you need any scenario where you want to compare the source and destination data, if the data is there in the destination, load that into one file. If the data is not there in the destination, load it into other file. Then yes, in this case you can use a lookup. Okay, guys, are you able to get this?
Yes.
Okay.